Hello, everyone. How are you doing today? Welcome back to another Friday with KBCR Michelle Green with your credit tips and your financial freedom. That's what we are here to do today is talk about credit and our finances so that we can elevate ourselves to the next level. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you are subscribed to the Kingdom Builders Credit Repair YouTube channel and make sure that you go to the CTR Media Network so you can watch us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, Droid TV, etc., etc., etc. We are out there now. We are in the television arena. Can you believe it? Yes, yes, yes. So welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us again. Like I said, make sure that you subscribe. Tell a friend about what we are doing every Friday from 12:30 to 1. But we are so grateful that you are here. So let's talk about what we are discussing this week. I was thinking about as I was going through the week, I was thinking about all of the people that we have as clients in credit repair. And I was thinking about what is the actual issue that we incur every single time. The thing that we are looking at is what are the actual issues around how we manage our credit and how we manage our money. So today we are going to dive into the topics of how to properly manage our finances, how to properly manage our credit. And of course, we always want to start out with understanding what is credit to begin with. Credit is when we don't have the ability to pay for something that we actually need or desire. So we, in exchange with a creditor, which is a bank or a credit union, go to a creditor and decide to ask them to lend us the amount of money that we want to borrow for the exchange of whatever it is that we are purchasing. So if we are purchasing a vehicle and we don't have 25 to $50,000 for a vehicle, then we go to a bank or credit union or some type of financial institution that will finance the item for us. The same with the house and the same with furniture, appliances, personal loans for us to make repairs and maintain our livelihood. All of those are things that we need in order for us to live and to have credit, in order for us to have our money managed properly. But what I'm finding is that there are a lot of us that are doing credit. We are establishing credit based off of an emotional mindset. We are kind of like going on our feelings of, okay, you know, this person has been doing their life and I see them over there and they living their best life. They got this really big house and they have this really nice car, but I don't have one. So let me go and see if I can purchase something that's bigger and better. When we look at buying or purchasing through an emotional trauma or an emotional situation that's not even a trauma, it's just that we might be a little jealous that they got it going on and we don't have it going on as much. So we decide to go into purchasing something that we really cannot afford. So that leads me to my second issue of the reason why we are having problems managing our credit and our money. The second problem is that we literally don't really consider what we can afford. So we're trying to keep up with the Joneses. We start out with this emotional side to us of, okay, well, I really want this. I've never had anything that was significant. Maybe you were growing up and you were like me when I was growing up. I was always told no, I couldn't get it. No, every time me and my mom went to the grocery store or me and my grandparents, because I was raised in their house, okay, they would always take me to the grocery store. And majority of the time, the answer was no, that I would not be able to make a purchase that I wanted. So many of us have grown up with the mindset, the foundation of us being told no. So when we become an adult, the first thing we want to do is get out there and go spend and get our own credit. And then if we are approved for credit, it's like we just kind of lose our minds because we're like, okay, now I can keep up with the Joneses. Now I can go ahead and I've been comparing myself and competing against this person and that person secretly. Now we won't tell them that we're competing and comparing ourselves against somebody else, but we definitely are subconsciously. We are certainly thinking about, okay, well, they got this nice car, they got this nice house. I seen them pull out their wallet and they got a whole bunch of credit cards in there, or cards that we assume that are credit cards with major companies. Maybe we haven't actually seen what kind of credit cards they have. There might be some Cash App cards in there, okay? It might be some Zelle cards in there. It might be some Venmo cards in there. We don't know what kind of card it is, but we just got a glimpse of their wallet and we're like, oh, that's the kind of life that I want to live. Or maybe we've been following someone that is a millionaire or a billionaire, and we are trying to compare our financial status the way that they are trying to teach it. And that's not necessarily conducive to your well being financially. So we want to think about that. Hey, why are we actually doing the things that we're doing? What is the root cause of us deciding that we would want to obtain a certain amount of credit? That's the biggest issue in all of the arena of credit, is that we have this emotional baggage that we carry around secretly, and then we decide that we're going to compare ourselves against other people so that we can actually go ahead and do what it is that we need to do, hoping and praying that, we are not going to fall into any problems with our finances, with our credit. But I beg to differ, because as a Kingdom Builders credit repair company, we see every single day the flip side of the consequences of everyone that basically goes into the arena with the wrong type of mindset with their money and their finances and their credit altogether. So I want us to start to think about, before we actually obtain credit, one of the things that I try to do in my personal life with credit is ask myself, okay, is this a need or is it a want? Is it something that I really just want to show proof that I can get, or is it something that I actually desire? Is it something that I want personally, or is it something that's a benefit for my family? Is it something that I am just kind of looking at, okay, well, this is what everybody else is doing. Oh, okay. And then one of the things that I try to do is make sure that when I make that decision of if it is a need or a want, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to wait out 7 to 14 days before I actually make a purchase. And then I'm going to shop around in those 7 to 14 days to make sure that what I am trying to go for, after 7 days, after 14 days, if I haven't actually solidified that purchase, then sometimes my mind will completely change on what it is that I think that I want to go do. So I'll give you an example. Recently, we were in need of a washer and dryer because the washer and dryer both broke down at the same time. So instead of me going and just immediately purchasing a new washing machine and dryer, I started to shop around. Now, of course, I had the money to go and purchase the washer and dryer outright, but the problem was that I wasn't sure if I wanted to put it on my credit so that I can build my credit up. And that is the perspective that you as the consumer should be thinking about when you make a purchase. Is you don't want to go into something by force. You don't want to be threatened. You want to be able to make a conscious decision before you go into debt. So what we did, me and my husband, we started shopping around. So 7 to 14 days went by. We got the price of the different types of washing machines and dryers that we might consider making the purchase for. Then, after shopping around to several different places, online shopping, in-person shopping, we decided that we were going to hold off on actually making a purchase and see if we could get the washing machine and dryer fixed. So what we ended up doing is on Monday, we looked up some people that could repair the services. We got a referral from online. Okay, and then we were able to get this person to come in and fix our washing machine and dryer for not even a third of what we would have made a brand new purchase for. So that's the kind of mindset that you want to have before you make any kind of mistake or purchase of any kind for credit, because the thing is that we sometimes respond with a action that is out of our emotions. Oh my God, the washing machine and dryer broke. Okay, I got to go to the laundromat over and over again. Okay, that is an inconvenience. But what we have to understand is that sometimes the inconvenience is there so that we can make a conscious, common sense decision. And that common sense decision is not going to come to us in the heat of the moment while we are dealing with the upset of whatever it is that we are in need of, especially if it's cash money and we're trying to borrow an actual loan of some kind. So when it comes to us and how we manage our money, we need to first take out the emotional baggage that we are carrying around, because all of us have it. Don't act like you don't have it out there. All of us have the emotional baggage of assuming that because we are feeling the way that we feel right now in this moment, that that is okay for us to make a decision in the mess. So when I say mess, I am referring to, because this is actually mess. When we think about, we are going through different scenarios of our life. Maybe our car has broken down and we need a vehicle. Maybe our refrigerator or stove or something has broken down. Whatever the case is, we have to understand that no matter what, we still need to have the ability to calm down, come out of the mindset of our emotional baggage that we are feeling and having right in the moment. And we need to literally go into the whole equation with a different mindset. And that mindset literally is that we need to give it a few days before we make a actual educated decision about our money. Now, the other part of the financial breakdown, I would say, is where, yes, we are trying to compare ourselves and compete against different people we see online, on social media, maybe family members, maybe friends, even spouses, significant others. We are in competition with pretty much everybody. But the other issue that is a foundational thing that we are struggling with is just the understanding that we don't have enough financial education, which is the whole reason why we started doing the KBCR TV show. We don't have enough information or supporting evidence around credit education and around financial education. I know a lot of us have had the mindset that we have been taught to just pay our bills. If we create a bill, we would pay the bill. And majority of us are in a mindset in today's society that even though we have the money sometimes to pay our bills, what we tend to do is miscalculate what we have. We tend to miscalculate what amount of money we have to actually go towards our debts and our utilities. And we miscalculate how much money we have to spend on what I call play money. So there is play money that we should have set aside that is completely separate from our utilities and our debts. However, when it comes to when we get our paycheck, when we get the actual cash in our hands or deposited into our bank accounts, majority of the time we just kind of go ahead and buy the thing that we want instead of taking care of the basic necessities first and the debts that we owe second. We normally will go and reward ourselves before we can actually even consider, do we have enough money to take care of the expenses that we have set our name to, that we have signed that contract agreement to, do we have enough money to cover the expenses and the debts that we've created? So, one of the things that I try to do, especially quite often, is to look at the things that I have as debts. I have a house, I have cars, I have houses, I have land and different things like that. So I look at what I have financed and I try to go back into my mind to remember what was the experience like when I originally had to obtain the credit? Or if I did it on purpose, what was the original gain from me making the purchase? Because if I just make a purchase and I forget about what the significance of making that purchase actually is, then guess what's going to happen? I'm not actually going to really consider down the road how important it was for me to have received the financing for the item that I am now enjoying. So we got to go back and think about what was the actual original reason why you did what you did. And let's think about what it is that we are actually receiving on the back end of, after I made the purchase, what is it that I'm actually receiving? Am I enjoying the home that I live in? Am I enjoying the vehicle that I drive every day? Am I enjoying the ability to be able to go and make a purchase on a credit card without having to use my debit card? Am I enjoying this personal loan? Was this for a repair of some sort that if I didn't have the ability to gain the credit, that I would not be able to move forward with my life? So we got to begin to stop just looking at the front end of things and we got to look at things on the back end. When we are in the process of paying that debt down, when we are in the process of looking at whether or not I want to go blow this money because I just got paid and I'm enjoying my life and I'm going to live my best life, but you ain't really living your best life if you're out here and you're taking money from the places that are giving you the credibility to build a great reputation to be able to access at any point in time in your life. So we got to stop. We really got to stop and think about, are we making the best choice for our life? We mostly overspend in things that are not relevant to our well being financially. We normally go out and spend money on things and especially on food. Let me just talk about that for a second. Do you know that the average person in KBCR, I'm just talking about within Kingdom Builders Credit Repair, and we have thousands upon thousands of clients, especially over the years. I can't even count as many clients as we have had. But every person that comes through our program has to do what we call a budget assessment. When we do the budget assessment, one of the major things that we have found where people are spending most of their money is in their mouth. That's right, we are eating our money. We are eating it up because we cannot control ourselves when it comes to the amount of food purchases that we are making every day. The world has made it very convenient for us. For when we get our checks, the first thing we think about is, hey, let's go get some lunch. Let's go get some dinner, right? We think about, let's go buy some food. Maybe we need to purchase some groceries and whatnot, but we have a very convenient life. No matter where we live in the world, we have a very convenient life of being able to go and buy food at will in a second. And we have this instantaneous mindset that I'm going to get whatever I want, and especially in the food arena. But do you know that in our credit repair program, the average person spends anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 a month on food? Now that is crazy because I know you over there thinking like, If I could save $2,000 or $1,000, man, that would set me pretty. That would set me off. I'd be able to do a whole lot of things that I want to do with my money. I'd be able to pay off some debts, some credit cards, some pay off that loan that I've been thinking about, maybe add a little bit more money towards my mortgage, right? But when it comes to us actually looking at the numbers, every time we do a budget assessment, we find that the average individual is spending anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000, and that's usually just in eating out. That's usually not in groceries. Okay, so we are talking about what are we doing now. That's just one arena, and our budget is definitely very intricately detailed with every single thing that you could possibly consider spending your money on. All right, so let's talk about another area of where we kind of frivolously spend money in birthdays and holidays. When we look at our birthdays, how many people are you celebrating a birthday with? How many people are you giving a birthday present to? We got ourselves, because many of us, we're going to spend about $1,500 on ourselves, because we love ourselves, and there's nothing wrong with that. But can you afford it? Can you actually afford it? Or are you taking money from your rent, from your mortgage, from your car note, from your insurance? You driving around dirty? Okay. Are we taking money from those places so that we can have pleasure in our life right now, but we're going to suffer later on? So another area that we look at is our birthdays. Do you have kids? And does your kids have friends that have birthday parties that you have to take them to and also supply a birthday present for? Do you have family members? Okay. What about mom and dad? Do you buy them a birthday gift? Do you have siblings? Do you buy them a birthday gift? Do you have cousins or a best friend that you buy a birthday gift for? I got a best friend that's coming up and I got to get her a gift at the end of the month. Okay, so when we talk about how we're spending our money, where is the money going? How are we managing this whole financial portfolio? We got to really think about what we are doing with the money. Like, where does every penny go? Why is it that the things that are pleasurable right now are not pleasurable later? Because we have not made the right financial choices with our money, with our credit. So I want you to also consider holidays. When it comes to holidays, are you thinking about partying every single holiday that pops up? Are you thinking about going this place and that place, flying out here and flying out there for Christmas, for Thanksgiving, for Mother's Day, for Father's Day? Now, I know y'all don't do Father's Day because every time we do our budget, the fathers, they don't get no love. They might get a card and they might get maybe a $5 or $20 at that. Or they might get taken out to dinner, but the fathers, they don't get no love. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, but it's true. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. The fathers ain't getting no love when it comes to the holiday of Father's Day. But maybe we can change that now that we are conscious of what we're doing out there. But anywho, what I'm saying is that we got New Year's. Every single month of the year except for August has a holiday for you to celebrate. And are you out there celebrating every single holiday? I know y'all ain't thought about that, but see, as a person who is on the flip side of the whole financial and credit equation, I look for things that are consistently taking your money. So one of the things that constantly takes money when we do our budget, we see that the consumer, the person that is in our program, is spending money on holidays. They're spending money on birthdays and they're spending money in food. Those are the top three areas, and also grooming. Let me go ahead and throw that in the equation. Grooming, when we get our hair done, when we get our nails done, ladies, and guys, when you go to the barber shop, when you decide that you got to get fine for your wife or for your significant other, hey, we out there spending cash that we cannot afford to spend. So let's look at the categories. Food usually runs from $1,000 to $2,000. Grooming is around $300 to $400 a month. That's per individual. If you got some kids, you got to think about how often do you take your kids to go get their hair twisted, to go get their hair dreaded back up? How often do you get your kids the opportunity to get a haircut? How often do you take care of your kids' grooming? You going shopping, you getting them some new clothes, some new shoes, or yourself? Think about it. How often are you doing that? So I'm saying $300 to $400, but actually it's usually a lot higher than that per person. Then we look at the birthdays. Oh, we got to celebrate everybody's birthday or a special occasion. It could be a wedding, a baby shower. It could be that you just celebrating like your kid just lost a tooth. And that's money that's coming out of your pocket that you can't actually afford to give away. And then we talk about these holidays. It's the same scenario. So listen, I want you guys to understand that when it comes to us losing money, us dealing with our credit and dealing with our finances and trying to figure out what is the root problem of why we cannot move forward. Why is it that I keep making the same mistakes over and over again? It is bottom line the emotional baggage and the fact that we are competing and comparing every single day with all of these options that we have in our life. All of us have the option to multiple opportunities to be able to spend money wherever we go, wherever we are. It doesn't matter, but something that is so simple can be something that is so significant that if you would take the time to look at how much money are you spending in holidays? Okay, average holidays is about $2,000 as well. And then if you look at, all of the other things that we just talked about, calculate how much money are you actually doing, like how much money are you giving away so that you cannot achieve your dreams and goals that you set out. That's all that I wanted to say for today. There is a whole lot more that I could say, but listen, if you haven't been in the Kingdom Builders Credit Repair Program before, then you have the opportunity right now to go to Kingdom Builders Credit Repair website. That's www.Kingdom Builders Credit Repair website. Right now, click on the Let's Talk button and we will contact you today. We can help you with the budget assessment. Not only we will help you to find out what you're spending, but we will rearrange that whole budget of where you're spending your money to the places that you actually want the money to go. So don't hesitate. Do it today. Go to the website, click on the link, or you can click on the link in this invitation. We will set that down below so that you can click on the link to get started. For less than $100, it is worth it. Every single penny. But why? Because we always give you way more than what you are paying for. Thank you again for watching. Make sure you have subscribed. Hit that like button and tell a friend. We're on every Friday from 12:30 to 1 p.m. And we appreciate your watching, your friendship. We love you guys that are already in our program. And thank you. And I hope that you learned something. Go ahead and click that comment button and let us know what you got from today's message. Thank you so much again. And we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.